Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. Today we are starting Module 8 and we're going to be solving systems of linear equations by graphing. So we've already graphed linear equations. Linear equations means lines. So we've already graphed, but now a system. So what is a system? So our learning target for today is identify solutions of a system, solve by graphing, and then solve real world situations by graphing. So first of all, what is a system? A system is a set of two or more linear equations containing two or more variables. A solution to that system is an ordered pair that satisfies each equation, meaning the ordered pair is on both lines or all three lines or four lines, however many that you have. So it has to fit all of them. If an ordered pair is a solution, it will make all equations true. So what kind of situations do we have? So when you look at this, there are three different ways that we can graph two lines. And to some of you, it might look like we only have three situations here. But if you look at this first one that has blue and green lines, and if you look at these two lines are what we call parallel. So if we have two parallel lines, how many points do they have in common? And we would say that there are no solutions. So if we drew two parallel lines on your desk, on the floor, on the ceiling, on the wall, they will never intersect. So they have no points in common. They have no solutions. When you look at this second graph, we have a blue and green line, and these two blue and green lines meet at a specific point. That point, if they're going to intersect, so if we have intersecting lines, this would be called intersecting lines, we have one solution. And in this particular case, it is already graphed, so we can tell you what that one solution is, and that ordered pair is negative 1, 1. When we look at this third graph, to you, it's going to look like there's only one line. Okay, and I totally understand that. But if I tell you it's a system, we just found out from the previous slide that a system is two or more equations. So if we only see one line, what that means is that the other line is right on top of it. Okay, so if I wrote an equation like this, x plus y equals 5, and now I just multiply everything by 2, so 2x plus 2y equals 10. Those are two different equations. Both of those black equations are drawn here. And what would happen is you would just get one right on top of the other. So we would say that it has infinite solutions, because there is no way you could possibly name all of the points on this line, every single point, every point. And no matter what I say, there's always going to be more in between there. So we say that it has infinitely many solutions. Most of the kind of situations we're going to be looking at here are going to be number 2, when we're going to be talking about intersecting lines, and then we want to know where that point of intersection is. So in these first set of samples here, what they're doing is they're giving you a system. This is our system. This equation and this equation, two or more equations. And they are giving you a solution. They're saying, hey, I'm giving you this ordered pair, 2, 4. If I graph these two lines and if they meet, is that point 2, 4? That's what they're asking us to find out. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is plug these numbers into the equation and do the math and solve and see if it works. So in this first equation right here, this is x, this is y. I'm going to substitute a 2 in place of x, and in place of y, I'm putting a 4, and I want to know, does that equal negative 2? Well, 2 minus 4 is a negative 2, and negative 2 equals negative 2, so yes, this line contains that point 2, 4. Okay, does this second line have it? So now when I do this one and I take 2 times 2 plus 4 equals 6. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 4. So now I have 8. Does 8 equal 6? And that answer is no. So this point right here is not on this line. So that means when I draw those two lines, they are not meeting at the point 2, 4. This is not a solution. Why? Because it did not work for the second equation. 2, 4 is not on the second equation. All right, let's try another one. For this one, they want to know, is this a solution? 1, negative 2. So in this first one right here, 2 times 1, in place of y, I'm putting a negative 2, and does that equal 0? So 2 minus 2. So we end up with 0 equals 0. So yes, this point 1, negative 2 is on this line. Okay, now we're going to test the second one. So when we plug it into the second equation, in place of x, I'm putting a 1 plus 4, and in place of y, I'm putting that negative 2. Now we're going to do our math. Order of operations, we have to multiply first. So 1 minus 8 equals negative 7. So negative 7 equals negative 7. Yes. So this is a solution. Okay, it worked for both of them. Okay. All right, let's just try one more and then we'll move on to the next topic. So is 5, 2 an ordered pair? This is x, this is y. So make sure you get that in place of x. So we have 2 equals 3 times 2 minus 13. Okay, so I put a 5. So 2 equals 15 minus 13. So 2 equals 2. So yes, this ordered pair is on that first line. All right, let's check the second one. 2/5, and make sure I'm putting in x. X is 5. Minus 2 equals 0. So these 5's cancel, and now I have 2 minus 2. So 0 equals 0. So yes, so this is a solution. So make sure you do the math to prove that the answer works. All right. So that is the first concept that we are talking for today. And this is probably a homework assignment that you're going to have here. There's 6 problems to do. And then the second concept for today. Do you see how it says that we will be able to do this by graphing? So our learning target was by graphing. All right, so in this first problem here, a pair of equations together. So we have these two equations. This is called a system when we have 2 or more. So this first one I'm going to graph, and you guys already know how to do this. We start with the y-intercept is at negative 2, and then the slope is 3 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1. And I like to make my line, my first one especially, as long as this graph will allow me to do so. All right, second equation. This y-intercept is a 3, 1, 2, 3. And this slope is a negative 2 over 1. So I am going to go down 2 over 1. Well, look at that. The blue and red line have already met. Where are they meeting? The blue and red line are meeting at the ordered pair 1, 1. So the solution to this system is 1, 1. Now, part B says, explain how you can tell 2, negative 1 is a solution without using the graph. Well, 2, negative 1 is not a solution because it does not work. Okay, 2, negative 1, so we would plug it in. So this is x, this is y. So we have negative 1 equals 3 times 2 minus 2. So negative 1 equals 6 minus 2. So does negative 1 equal 4? No. Okay, so that's how we would do it, and that's what we were just doing on the other problem. So we know that that is not a solution. Okay, we found the solution to be at 1, 1. Negative 2 up 3 over 1, and 3, negative 2. Alrighty, here we go. Next problem. So solve this system. Okay, we're going to solve it by graphing, and they already have that first equation in blue. They already have the y-intercept at 5 here, and it's up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. So we already have a nice line here. So let's get this second one on here. This y-intercept is at a negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, and this slope is a positive 1. So we're going to go up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, and we already have the blue and the red line meeting. What point are they meeting at? Well, they're meeting at that point, 1, comma, negative 2. So remember, ordered pairs have parentheses and a comma in between. All right, let's try this one. We're going to do the first one in blue. So this y-intercept is 7, so go up to 7 and put a dot. And then this slope is 1 over 1. So up 1 over 1. And this first line, I always make as long as I possibly can. Some of you are not going to believe me, and you're going to go ahead and make your line, and you're going to make it short. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have a line like this, and you're going to have another line like this, and you're going to say they don't intersect. Well, that's not true. They do intersect. You just didn't extend your line long enough to make sure that it did, so then you're going to have to go back and extend it. So I always like to extend my first one super long. All right, the second one, the y-intercept is a negative 2. And now my slope is negative 2 over 1. So I'm going to go down 2, right 1. Well, that's not going toward my blue line. So I'm going to go up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1. And there we go. That's where it meets that other line. So my solution, ordered pair, make sure you have parentheses around it, is going to be negative 3, 4. So the solution to this system is negative 3, 4. That's where the blue line and red line meet. All right, let's try this one here. So the first one I'm going to do in blue, and that y-intercept is a negative 3. And remember, it's a 1 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1, okay? And I'm making this long so that I do not have to come back and extend it in case I don't make it long enough to connect. All right, the second one I'm going to do in red. Now, this is the whole reason why in the last chapter we were solving for a variable. We want to get this y all by itself. So we are going to subtract x from both sides. So 2y equals minus x plus 6. They are not like terms. And then we have to divide everything by 2. So we get y equals negative 1/2 x. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now we have our y-intercept of 1, 2, 3. And the slope is negative 1/2. So if I go up 1 over 2, up 1, oh, that's the wrong way, up 1 over 2, I'm going away from my blue line. So I'm going to go down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And there we go, it connected. And we have the ordered pair as my solution here is going to be 4, comma 1. All right, I'm going to be running out of time here. I have about a minute left. So I think I'm going to do one more problem and then we'll get you going on your homework, okay? So we're solving a system by graphing. So this first one I'm going to do in red. So this y-intercept is a 2. And if you look at that slope, it's negative 1 over 1. So up 1, left 1, okay? Or down 1, right 1. Again, I make my first line as long as this graph will allow me to do so. The second one I'm going to do in blue. And this y-intercept is a negative 1. And this slope, negative 4 over 1, means I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. Okay, some of you like to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1, but you see how that went away from the line? And the other one went toward it. So this red and blue line meet at this ordered pair, negative 1, 3. So the solution to the system is -1, 3. Good luck on your homework.